What's up, guys? It's Mrjamvad, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. We're gonna get into it. Some offense. We got a lot of catching up to do between decaying and the tilt that we've been on as we get back into the swing of things. I will admit it's DLC time. It's DLC time, bros. I don't mind playing a full-on game. I don't mind playing full-on games, that I'm usually like in Ubers. I'd have some solid team. I'm not sure what about this type of style. It's still a Pokemon strategy, but it's less enjoyable. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just not as enthused as I'm generally, and so I'm paying attention. It could just be because I'm not winning, and so that could be a factor as well. So let's win and see if that makes a difference. Hopefully not too much hacks. Hacks is coming. It's my life, but hopefully it's not too much to where I can't prevail. And so looking at this, Clef guards well against Hall because he's gonna think he's unaware boost such and such and such. Weavile's Ice Shard. I gotta be careful of Chloe, but I think if I have rocks, or what's my rocker? I don't have stealth rocks. Sorry, I'm just thinking about all the ways this can go because he has quite a few threats to me. Hydreigon, Conk. Can't allow Conk to get touched. Cinderace offensively threatens quite a bit of his team. Diggers be offensively can do its thing, but does not speed anything, doesn't pick up any kills. Weavile's Ice Shard, and so didn't think he'd lead Selgor, which I don't mind. Yeah, and I figured he'd try to take out my Conk because obviously shuts down his cloister and everything. Not that I wanted Cinderace dead, but on the off chance that he had gone for something along the lines of spikes or whatnot, I didn't think he'd lead a Selgor and just sack it. But somebody was dying there because he was likely Sash Final Gambit, so somebody was biting the dust. And so the question for me here is, he banded Terrakion. The Terrakion is very concerning for me, and I can't have Clef willy-nilly taking banded Stone Edges if that's what he's packing. And so Mimikyu. And so we're gonna learn today. If he's banded, then he knocks us out here, pretty sure. But he has no other rocker, and so the ideal situation obviously is for Conk to drain, right? And so this is gone. Now he could go to Mimikyu. I'm not overly concerned about a Mimikyu, primarily because I have both Diggersby and Hydreigon. Now let me see, play rough. Okay, that was a smart play. That was a smart play by him, because I was like, would he sacrifice his disguise here? It's the thing with offense, particularly these styles. I don't have much to deal with. If something he has gets out of hand, I don't have the best solutions all the time, and so I want to be very careful. I don't have rocks, and so, like, for example, rocks plus cloister, shell smash and Mach Punch Conk would destroy, right? But because, okay, excellent, I'm very glad that he went straight Hawlucha, especially because he's sub, which means he's likely Badix, or he's probably like I wonder what this is. Doesn't matter, I have Protect. I'm unaware, obviously. But like off chance Sky Attack. Actually, Sky Attack won't even knock me out. I'm tripping. Citrus Berry. Okay, I can just wish this off. In hindsight, there was no reason to do that. I'm heavy duty boots, funnily enough, but Halucha should be dead. And you know, this opens up luck and stuff like that. So I'm gonna Moonblast hard, obviously, to cover. He might switch out. This is not his only mark point switching left, but he's pretty Weavileable. Particularly, and you see, as I said, that's my own fault because I kind of opened the way. Like, I know this is a my live, and so if it can happen, it likely will. And so we want to limit. He likely go for the most accurate move here. I really want to go to my Hydreigon because that allows me to keep on mine, because I'm likely gonna have to lose 2 monsters Mimikyu. But actually, he play roughed, so that's why I thought he'd go for the most accurate move. I'm glad I didn't go to Hydreigon there. And play roughed was the correct play. And now you hate to see it. That second one didn't matter. I was always gonna go to Weavile and knock, and there was nothing he could do about that. In fact, I could go Hydreigon. I think that should be a guaranteed win. Yeah. Actually, is Mimikyu? There's no way you take less than 51 from this. He didn't want to get conked, and so if he gave me Mimikyu there, assuming that I wasn't Scarf, there was the correct play. And so now, you know, obviously Dark Pulse plus whatever the fuck I want to do knocks him out. We're gonna mock, but Hydreigon's just natural stats, and so that's 1 win down. As we launch the offense, we gotta play very, very carefully around these goons. Offense, this style of offense versus players that I don't know anything about, it's generally something I don't want to do. I generally, if I'm going to use something like this, I'll play in more higher ladder, because I know, okay, at least something he's going to do is going to make sense. Fortunately, my opponent made, like, the player of miss mattered a lot, but my opponent made the proper reads in that game. It just looked like he didn't, because I expected him to make the quote-unquote correct play. And I say correct, I mean the play that has the highest probability. So if, let's say the turn it was Terrakion Conkeldurr, a lot of players look at that turn, oh, I need to predict. What's the prediction? And the way my opponent was playing, I think he was thinking more of, well, what's the risk versus reward? If I stay in with Terrakion, get another CC, have fun, bro. Terrakion gets CC and then he earthquakes, I get a lot of value out of that turn. If I go to Mimikyu and he earthquakes, not only do I lose my disguise, but his Conk gets to get away and my Terrakion is still at 1%. No thoughts at the moment. I guess we can me and Joey can do it on the contrary. But yeah, so another offensive team. We're not Dracovish ready, and so, you know, like him using this thing and then Dracovishing me is just a bloodbath. And so fortunately we do have court change, and so Grimmsnarl isn't as bitchy. Let's see, Clef cannot be touched for Halucha, and it's gonna be a matter of who breaks who first. Very poor fighting resist, and so removal of didn't expect him to go Grim. Focus punch, what would that hit? So many. I don't want to get Thunder Wave haxed, you know. And so this is annoying. And so what I'm gonna expect him to do is reflect. And so Cinderace back as he Spirit Breaks, surprisingly. I don't think if he had Spirit Break, that means like should be taunt last move, and so I'm a court change. All right, court. I forgot he can do that. I completely forgot that he could do that, in all honesty. And so we'll U-turn here. Dracovish is something that should be coming in soon, right? And so, you know, Hydreigon. Now, obviously the opponent's gonna make the assumption that, well, one, if he stays in here, it's gonna be a negative Fishious Wren. A negative Fishious Wren, what does that even mean? And so what I'll do here is I'll allow the mute, because we'll just be court changing around. It's a question of which court I want. And by that I mean, like, he could Stealth Rock here and then I court change back the Reflect. I'm gonna court change here because if Dracovish comes in, at least I have a Reflect up for whatever I want to go to. Oh, it's Scarf. Fuck, I should have switched there. I should have hard switched there. But the reason I didn't want to hard switch is because I expected I didn't want to give him the double power. So if I went first, obviously it would not be double the power. Scarf, which is good and bad. Good and bad. Good and bad. But a really rough matchup. Really rough. I suppose rocks plus we. I don't have any hazards. And I can't. I wish I had flash here. If he stays in, do I lose? I mean, he has no reason not to go to Grimmsnarl, right? How can I win? Him giving up Dracovish here would mean I can afford it. I can afford it. Like, this is like some kind of, I don't know, but I can afford it. And Dracovish obviously is still slower than Weavile, which I have to keep in mind. He doesn't know shit about my Weavile. I doubt it. Could be Life Orb Weavile. It could, well, you should tell by the knockoff damage that I'm banded. I don't think he'd ever go Grimmsnarl here, because that'd be a waste of a Grimmsnarl. So many fucking options. Yeah, I needed that to kill. Oh, fucking Flare Blitz. Yeah, I needed to get the play right there, because if I knocked and he went to Grimmsnarl, you know, because obviously this Grimmsnarl is gonna go for the hazards here. There's nothing I can, not the hazards. It's gonna go for the Reflect here. But fortunately, I'm only dealing with a few turns. Oh, that's a big miss. God damn. That might be game. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's a big miss, man. Because this is his best Hydreigon switch in. If you look at his team, you know, I can potentially Earth Power Sweep. All G, bro. Spike, that Dracovish coming in. Maybe that's a long game. That's a big miss, man. Damn. Yeah. That's a big fucking miss. So obviously I'm assuming I mean, if he taunts, quality play. That means not Dracovish. The thing is, if he taunts, Dracovish can't kill me, and so I mean, why would you worry about taunting? Spirit Break makes more sense. Yeah. I mean, Light Screen makes more sense. And so now he can go for taunt. Yeah. And now he can go for Spirit Break. Maybe 2 Moonblast. Nah, because if I got the play wrong, it would have been the same situation. And so now he can Spirit Break. Is it better for me to sack Weavile? Basically, what I'm trying to do is set up for potential sack Weavile. That was a big miss, man. Spirit Break, sack. Then conk, mock. No, reflect is over, isn't it? Yeah, reflect is done, and so he gets to go to Dracovish. Now I'm a max defense clef, and so, you know, I die. I die. I was like Weavile. I actually don't need Weavile. He went Hawlucha, which is great for us. He Sky Attacks. Sky Attack into Ice Shard. Or do I just yeah, I could have missed too. And so it was just a question of which one I'd give up, Clef or Hall. Now, upside, the way it's looking soon, perhaps. Actually, it's still gonna be close. Still gonna be close because you can just switch to Bisharp here. Now, if I predict the Bisharp, yeah, didn't have the kudos for it. Thing is, I actually don't necessarily need my scarf on this. It's almost more helpful for me to not have it. But I still have to get every play right, which is like if he goes Hawlucha here, for example, like I need to KO the Hawlucha. I don't think you just go Hall though. Would you? Okay, so it suckers. So it's over. There are some crucial turns that just fuck the game up long term. For us, obviously, and so you can aggro freely. And now it's a question of, I guess my conk maybe can crit the. Nah. I think I 2-hit KO everything on this team. I think conk maybe can crit the. I don't know. If conk crits Zero, maybe. Hall obviously goes down, so he has to pick one. And so, problem with this is Drake. It'll depend on how much conk takes from, because I don't have the Mach Punch damage. I don't have the Guts Orb, the Flame Orb, and so obviously we're gonna weaken his Fishious Rend with Mach Punch. Yeah, it's not enough. We need to crit Zero. And you see how close we came to winning after all the stuff. After all the stuff, we still came close to winning. Even the crit wouldn't have knocked him out. And that's exactly why offense is such a risky thing, because if something happens, something rough happens at one moment, I could lose the entire game because of that. Now, a game like that, I'd review it and then see like, okay, you know, where could I have, like, should I just let Diggersby and then just sack Diggersby early to get up the spikes instead of blah, 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 such and such. And so there are probably ways. So this is gonna be our last game. Actually, maybe not. Let's see, where are we at? I got damn near no points, and so I'd like to round it out to 17 so we can gain about 100 points alive. Submit me some solid teams, bros, because remember, when I use your teams, I don't know, I'm just picking the team, and so I don't know how it's gonna pan out until it's like, oh fuck, I don't have Stealth Rocks after I pick the team. And so be mindful of that. Let's see. I'm significantly weak to Diggersby. Issue is Diggersby only comes in on Tyranitar, somewhat Drill, but everything else just massacres the Diggersby. And so I'm gonna be trying to set this up for Conk. Conk Weavile is poorly guarded against. Conk Weavile. Dracovish. Matt Dracovish weak. And the Sandor's Drill. Dracovish. Okay. I know I didn't like do the proper left to right analysis there at all. And so we can U-turn out here. 2 reasons. Whoa. Celebi. I don't want to play this out. I could go Cinderace, pivot, like U-turn pivot, anticipating what, Dracovish, but then we're staring down Dracovish again. Or we could go Weavile, Icicle Crash, Oko, 2 KO. Okay, what's Clef's purpose? Clef is strictly for that conk. So let's attack where it can't be defended. Now, issue I have with this particular sequence is T-Tar might not get 2 KO, but it does. But Icicle Crash hitting all these fun things. I have no idea why he went extra drill there, bros. Don't ask Jam. And so, as we said, Diggersby only came in on this, and so I'm expecting the Iron Head. I actually didn't die, and he was Life Orb, so that actually worked out perfectly for us, especially if he opts for Conk here. But it's likely gonna go something mid ground. He does go Conk. Should I try to get the spike off? I don't need it. What I'll do is go hard Clef since it's strictly for the conk. Being unaware, and he can't guard against Moonblast. This is relatively safe. And again, every time he goes Celebi, this a fucking I'm surprised he actually doesn't matter. Vish, and so this is a sequence I was trying to avoid earlier. Where Vish is in, and so we can actually U-turn out, not because we were trying to make a prediction there, but because at this point, at that point, if he stayed in, we could have sacked Diggersby, and then I think depending on what the Vish is, obviously, once he loses this, he's getting to the range where he's just gonna lose straight up to Conk, or really Cinderace, depending on what the Vish is, and so gonna Icicle Crash here. We could predict him here, but the correct play is just to go to Diggersby. Obvious facade there, and that's how I was like, we could, flex. We're trying to set this up for a. Because currently, if he loses this, Weavile just comes in and smacks, unless he Scarf Vish. And so we're gonna obviously both are the same accuracy, but one does more to Dracovish. Can burn the Dracovish. I would like more damage on Vish, but I don't want T-Tar coming in. And there it is. And there it is. If it's a Scarfish, it was a non-factor, and so we get to go to crits me. Actually doesn't guard well against Draco Meteor anymore. So T-Tar coming in means Conk actually doesn't have. It goes Kiram. I'm guessing he's just gonna Draco. At this point, Cinderace is lovely, and that's what I want to see. I think this damage here means, this damage here is conkable. Yep, you're conkable. And Weavile just prevails. So see Ice Beam locks, I can afford to miss a Pyro Ball here. Basically, what I'm trying to do is hold positions that he can't have outs versus. Obviously, the Pyro Ball burn mattered. Obviously, I'm not trying to be sarcastic there. It actually did. It is what it is, so we're gonna go count the least useful member of the team, and then we just mock. Because at this point, Weavile just wins. And so, Facade obviously keeps the Celebi from doing anything wonky. Okay. It's interesting. If you remember the part of the article where I mentioned, so this is actually a very good moment, right? My opponent. So the only turn, as far as I can tell, as far as I can remember, that I haxed him was the Dracovish burn, right? Powerball. Yep. Dracovish burn was the only thing. Now, did that mean he was gonna win the game? Fuck no. Well, my point is, because he got hacks there, he now chalks up the entire loss to the Dracovish burn. And so that's like ego protection, right? He's like, well, the reason I lost is because it's a Dracovish burn. It's not because you played well, right? And that's why I encourage people to, like, even after your temper tantrums are over, look at the game again. Like, save the game and look at it objectively and see, okay, where could I have played better in the beginning? That's why that game that I just lost, I said I'd probably go over there and look at, see where I could have sequenced each play differently. So instead of saving Diggersby for last, I could have used it first and got up the spike earlier and sacked it early rather than trying to keep it as a late game threat. And so switching up the sequence of moves gives you insight and makes you better. But when you just, again, blame it on something outside of you, you quit the game, rage, and then you're the same player buffling around in whatever the fuck his point range was. And so, I mean, that's just a moment. You know, I get people get frustrated, but you still suck if you suck. And so no matter how frustrated you are, you're not good. You gotta fix that shit. And how can you fix it? You fucking practice and review your games. And so, yeah. That's why it's easier to not take things as the hacks as person, because I'm like, I'm gonna be back to my, yes, I'll take as many losses until I learn this whole metagame. I'll know every calc, every set, and then what you gonna do then? You know. And so WEAVILE's very good here. I'm not sure which one is a Scarfer. I could be Gyropolt, it could be Rachi. Knockoff is pretty solid. Depending if it's Scarf Rachi, then I'll Icicle Crash every time because it just naps KOs, you know what I'm saying? Diggersby as well, position versus drill versus Rachi versus Mandibuzz. I'm adamant, right? Not Vish is quite solid. Also potentially versus Dragapult, depending on what the set. Physical is starting to really come back. People are sick of these cores, and so that's pretty cool. Clef's only going to be there for potential DDD Bolt. He's very weak to Cinderace, very weak to Scarf Dragon. So if I can overwhelm his Mandibuzz early, I have quite a few threats, but I have to be mindful of his Dracovish. Let's see. And so he opts for the drill lead situation. Couple ways I can go about this. I could take a Pokemon from him immediately. U-turn into Conk, you know, as he stealth rocks, assumedly. I could Earth Power invite Mandy, which is not a problem to me, so I wouldn't mind inviting it. And so I'm actually gonna take this drill from him. He Earth Powered. I mean, so he Rapid Spun, implying basically what I was saying is I need to stay in the next turn because he Rapid Spun had the speed boost. But now he knows I'm Scarf, and so obviously gonna go to Mandibuzz. I'm gonna use this to my advantage. No, maybe I can't. Because I want to U-turn, but if U-turns back in the Dracovish, then I'm just fucked. And so I suppose I could use Cinderace as a scout. U-turn. Actually, I like that. If he's Scarf Dracovish, then I lose him on. Was there a way around that? Not sure. I have no solid Dracovish switching, so I kind of have to just deal. And so, to avoid mistakes from the previous games and all these things, we're gonna stop and assess. Okay, well, you know, what can he guard? What can't he guard against yet right now? Extra drill being gone means Clef is far more dangerous. Moonblast wise, Jirachi's his only switch. And so it's not Scarf Dracovish. We managed to get a crit here. And Hydreigon's very good, but we know we can take that's the second game in a row that's happened. That's funny. Literally the second game in a row that's happened. Let's see. It's important to know whether I kill him here with But yeah, welcome to Mrjamvad's lives. And so it's also important to know how to play out of hacks. What was it, WEAVILE? If I can kill him, I could crash the 60 to 72 knockout the save. Okay, so the biggest threat to me is gone. And it was the only knockoff switch, so just a scarf, obviously. And so now the question is, what next, right? If he's actually, I think this is the best sequence. I'm surprised he went for Ironhead. This is problematic. He goes hard buzz though. I'm very glad that he went hard buzz. Because this is knockoff switching, and so if I either get a Powerball burn or he just gives me Mandibuzz, this guy right here, bro, this guy, and so I can lose. Problem is my Cinderace wasn't Sucker Punch. If it was Sucker Punch, I would have kept it there. I could be wrong, but I don't think Foul Play did 64%. Me going Conk means he gets another KO. No, it doesn't. If I go WEAVILE, basically what I'm trying to do. So what I'm gonna do here is go to my Conk and I'm gonna Mach Punch. If he goes to Dragapult, that's the one caveat. I doubt he would because it's too big of a risk in case I went for knock, he'd lose Dragapult. But basically, I want my Guts item. That way, if that Jirachi decides to try to run Havoc and just run around like he thinks this shit is sweet, I actually want to go WEAVILE very badly here, but maybe there is no downside to that. Actually, no. WEAVILE's the correct play. If he Dracos, Diggersby get a kill. Because at that point you have to decide. Okay, do you? Oh, so he gives me Rachi. I'm glad about that. So he's gonna leave himself clefable. You see what I did there? Clefable. So we'll quick attack here to bring him in conk range. Pretty sure I died to Ice Beam, which is important to know. I don't know anything about his Dragapult, and that's important. I don't know shit about his Dragapult. That's important. Let's see. If I don't die, then Earthquake's the play here. Well, actually, Earthquake doesn't even kill him. If I don't die, Drain Punch is the play here. Because Dragapult won't be able to knock me out with anything. So Conk, the modern Conk doesn't have the best Spadef stat, so I think he has to go Pult. But if he assumes that I am Ice Beam has a 31% chance to KO me, he's getting that 30%, bros. I'm not even playing these games. Are you serious? How? What? I've lost. Oh, that's whack. Maybe not. Maybe I don't. Maybe I didn't lose. Thing is, I'm heavy duty boots, and so whatever he goes for probably knocks me out. So, yeah. I figured he was a physical variant, which is why I wanted to keep my Clef. How the fuck did he take 64% from a Guts Mach Punch? Either way, I thought that was a guaranteed kill. Conk, Kyurem, Mach, 63 to 75. Yeah, so he gets the max roll. I get the bare minimum. Oh yeah. What a lie. But how much did he live with anyway? 2%. So I needed just like an average roll. I thought that was a guaranteed kill. So see, that's an example. I could have played it in a way where, like, so if I sacked Diggersby, maybe that was a better play. If I sacked Diggersby versus the Kyurem, No, but I wanted Jirachi not to just be able to just flinch me down. But maybe Weavile was a bigger asset than having Diggersby. And so if I sack Diggersby to the Draco, after that I'd be able to go to Weavile and knock twice, and then he'd be able to go to Jirachi. I'd have to sack up on. I think I'd have to sack Clef, and then Mach Punch. I think I'd still lose because Dragapult doesn't die to Banded Ice Shard, and so the Jirachi would flinch me down. Dragapult would knock me out. So I don't know. I think those were the correct sequences. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And so we're gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, and we'll bring I don't know what the fuck to do with these teams anymore, bro. Send me a bunch of, go to my Smogon profile, like give me some teams. Honestly, what I've been trying to avoid doing, because I have some teams that I could just ladder up and not lose with. Shout out to Eclipse, he's passed me quite a few teams, but I don't want to use a Hippo Clef, Toxapex, you know what I mean, Corv, like just for the sake of winning, because that's just not gonna be fun to me. And so those games we're gonna be looking at, even though I won't lose, I'll probably be playing 1 or 2 games for 40 minutes, and then we'll get the points and we'll slowly grind up, but it'll be like mind-numbingly boring to me. And so I've been trying to, you know, Banded, Weavile, such and such, mix it up, but obviously they're downsize to everything, and so give me a nice mix of, you know, balance, but something interesting, but that's still a solid team. And just post that in the Smogon profile. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.